What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another Hat format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your Hat format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about sending those in. Anyways, the match I have for you today, we have Nova Knight, who is going to be on Junk Doppel Quasar, versus Avenger Bagnarol, sorry if I mispronounce your name, who is going to be on Fire King Firefist Artifact. And so, yeah, this should be a very interesting match. I know a lot of people really enjoy the Quasar deck, so it should be cool to see that. And hopefully they can, pop off and do its thing, and we can see that. But we'll only know if we get started. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. Here, it looks like Avenger is going to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Doppel Warrior, Junk Synchron, Quick Draw Synchron, 1-for-1, and Effect Veiler. So a very strong opening hand from Nova Knight here. And on the other side, we see MST, Moral Attack, Gorilla, Soul Charge, and Onslaught, and they will get a draw for turn here, getting a copy of Bear. So a very interesting hand from Avenger here. A little bit slow. Obviously, Onslaught would have been a lot better going second, but at bare minimum, they can, set up the Moral Attack with the MST, and also, put up a body if they really want to. That could eventually lead into a Soul Charge play. So let's see what they go for. Here, they're going to take a second to think. They are going to set the Bear and set the Moral Attack and MST. Obviously, you can do this in a lot of plays, because if your opponent doesn't know what you're on, a lot of times they might assume this is like a Geargia armor or a hand or something, especially when you're playing back row with it. And as a result, the opponent might take like extra precautions and kind of use up extra resources just to deal with something that in this case is kind of a card you don't really care about. But anyways, over to Nova Knight, who gets a copy of Tuning, so their hand is all gas. So let's see what they choose to do here. Here they're going to activate Tuning, getting a copy of Junk Synchron and milling the top card, which is unfortunately Rhoda here. They are going to go for 1-for-1, ditching the Junk Synchron and summoning a copy of Level Eater. And then from here, they're going to take a second to think. They're going to go Quick Draw Synchron, discarding the Doppel Warrior. Kind of interesting play there, but I guess given, that they already have enough cards to kind of go off here, it doesn't matter as much. What they could have realistically done if they really wanted to in this exact position is go for the Quick Draw and get rid of the Veiler, and then after that they still haven't used their normal summon, so they always have the chance to go summon the Junk Synchron and bring back the Veiler, and then from there they can bring back the Doppel Warrior. But anyways, let's see what they choose to do. This is a deck that is pretty complicated, and there's so many different lines. So after that, they're going to go and think, and here Avenger is going to go and MST the Moral Attack. Moral Attack will then be summoned. The effect will then trigger and pop the Quick Draw. From there, Junk Synchron is normal summon, bringing back the Doppel Warrior. After that, they're going to Synchro for a 5 into Junk Warrior. Junk Warrior will trigger, and Doppel Warrior will trigger to summon 2 tokens. And it is mandatory to summon them in attack, by the way. This card says when a monster is special summoned from the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card's sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can special summon 2 Doppel tokens. Warrior Dark level 1, attack 400, defense 400 in attack position. And then obviously Junk Warrior is gaining attack for all of the level 2 or lower monsters currently on the field. So it is pretty beefy, and here they can just run over the Moral Attack, and then the token is attacking in. I guess they're doing that just to see what the set is, just so they can know how to, play around their turn when it does come up. And here attacking into the Bear, and Bear, this is a situation you don't really see that often, but Bear says that once per turn, when this card inflicts battle damage to the opponent, you can set 1 Fire Formation spell directly from your deck. So it's kind of funny that they crashed in and it did damage, so they will get to trigger that effect here. Here, setting a copy of Tenki, very funny interaction. Anyways, then passing it right over to Avenger, who gets a copy of Lance. They are going to switch the Bear to attack, activate the Tenki, and get a copy of Wolfbark. From here, they're going to take a second to think, summon the copy of Gorilla, use the Bear, getting rid of the Tenki to pop the Junk Warrior. Veiler is going to be chained to that, though. And from here, unfortunately, Nova doesn't have a lot of protection. So here, Avenger is going to go battle phase and walk over the token. Obviously, they can't because the effect is negated. They might have forgot that already. But anyways, going back to this, the Gorilla can run over the Level Eater and get a spell or trap anyways. Or I think it's just a spell. And so here, getting a copy of Tenki And after that, main phase 2, going for a copy of Honor Arc, using the effect and taking the Junk Warrior. After that, setting the Lance, and here just going to end phase. Oh, Nova Knight got a Soul Charge off the top. Obviously, it's like the perfect draw here, going for Soul Charge. And it looks like they're targeting the Quick Draw Doppel and Junk Synchron. Oh, and the Veiler. So now they do have, all the things needed to actually make a big push, but at the same time, they are going to be really low on life. So let's see, they're going to Synchro into a Drill Warrior, Synchro into a Librarian. The Doppel will summon 2 tokens, which then they can go for a copy of Formula Synchron. They'll get a draw from the Formula and a draw from Librarian, getting a Foolish Burial and Tuning, very good draws. And then from here, what they can do is go for, well, I guess they have a couple options here. They're going to go for Tuning first and get a copy of Junk Synchron and then mill the top card, being another Veiler, but they can then, oh, interesting. Okay, so they're playing it very cautiously here, because what they could also, in theory, do is like level eat this, and then at that point, it's a 5, and a 2 tuner, and they can go for Quasar. But they haven't used their normal summon yet either, so maybe they're just doing a different route so that they can go Junk Synchron, bring back, a 2 or a 1 or something like that, Synchro into, this deck usually plays like Armades or just another 5 in general, and then get another draw off the Librarian before going into Quasar, so maybe that's what we're seeing here, though, banishing the Drill Warrior and discarding the Foolish, and then this will return in the next standby and add a monster from grave to hand. Anyways, here they are going to go for that Junk Synchron, going for the Doppel Warrior. This is a little risky, obviously, because we don't know one of the back row. So at that point, if this was like a handful of things, a Compulse would have ruined this play. A Breakthrough Skill would have ruined this play. So doing this is a little more risky, but I guess the reward is nice too. Synchro summoning for a copy of Catastor here. Librarian is going to draw into a Level Eater, and here they are going for the man himself, Quasar. But here it's not really going to do too much, as it looks like they're just passing. Avenger is going to get a copy of Warning. And from here, they are just talking a little bit or thinking. Tenki's going to be activated, getting a copy of Bear. And from here, they're going to summon the Bear, use the effect getting rid of the Tenki to bait out the Quasar negate. After that, Soul Charge is going to be able to be activated, bringing back Gorilla Bear and Bear. After that, they are going to overlay into a copy of Diamond Direwolf. Okay, so just the easy way to out the Quasar by getting rid of the Bear and the Quasar, and then Quasar will trigger to summon a copy of Shooting Star Dragon from deck. Really cool card. It says once per turn you can activate the top 5 cards of your deck, shuffle them back in. Also, this card's maximum number of attacks per battle phase is equal to the number of tuner monsters excavated. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated that would destroy a card or cards on the field, quick effect, you can negate the effect, and if you do, destroy it. And once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, banish this card, and if you do, negate the attack. And then during the next end phase, special summon this banished card by its effect. So kind of a cool card for sure, and obviously it being a 33 beater is nothing to shake a stick at, my apologies. So here it looks like they are just setting the warning, not even going for anything here. Or wait, did they use their normal actually on the Bear? I believe they did. So, and anyways, they are just going to pass it over here. Nova gets another Soul Charge. Not really the greatest card here, given they're kind of low on life. In the standby phase, the Drill Warrior is going to return, and its effect is going to add back a monster from the graveyard, adding that copy of Quick Draw Synchron. From here, they're going to use the Quick Draw, discarding the Level Eater to special summon it. After that, they're going to use the Level Eater and target the Drill Warrior. So now it is a level 5. And from here, they're going to use the effect again, discarding the Soul Charge to then banish the Drill Warrior and then level eat the Shooting Star. After that, they're going to Synchro for a copy of Junk Destroyer, and that is going to be a very good Junk Destroyer. This card says when this card is Synchro Summon, you can target cards on the field up to the number of non-tuner monsters used for the Synchro Summon of this card. Destroy those targets. So I believe that might have been 3 cards that were used. It was the token, the Level Eater, and was it another Level Eater, as well as obviously the Quick Draw? That would have been 5. Yeah, that would be 8. So here they're using the effect, and they are actually just going to warning it. Okay, so then after that, Shooting Star Dragon is just going to run over the Direwolf, and Lance is going to be chained to that, so they take a little less damage. Obviously, they had gone for a big Soul Charge play, so both our players are on very low life here. And then main phase 2, Level Eater is going to activate 2 more times, it looks like. And so just walling up from here, Avenger gets a copy of MST. They can go and summon the Wolfbark, bring back the Bear, overlay for a copy of Heartland Draco, which will be able to attack directly. So using the effect, attacking directly. And here the Shooting Star is going to use that effect that says, once per turn when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, banish this card, and if you do, negate the attack. So kind of forcing that out. And it looks like Avenger is going to scoop that one up. I mean, you know, Nova Knight did have it on the crackback, especially with the copy of Drill Warrior coming back. So pretty wild game 1 here, but now moving into game number 2, it looks like Avenger will get to start this one out yet again. Opening hands, we see Level Eater, Effect Veiler, Quibbled Hedgehog, 1-for-1, and Spore. And on the other side, we see Debunk, MST, Thunder King Ryo, Onslaught, and Bottomless, and they will get a draw for turn here, getting a copy of Compulse. So Nova Knight definitely has a lot of work set out for them here. So starting out, it looks like they're going to start by summoning the Thunder King and setting a lot of back row here, holding the MST. No reason really to set it, as from the first game, we didn't really see any back row out of Nova Knight. And in general, usually post-side, the Quasar deck is just going to side in things like either their own copies of MST or Trap Stuns or Royal Decrees, if they're against a deck that does play a lot of heavy traps. But anyways, here, just going to main phase, and then going 1-for-1, discarding the Quibbled Hedgehog, summoning a copy of Veiler. From there, they're going to normal summon the Level Eater and Synchro into a Formula Synchron, trying to draw into stuff, and Avenger is letting this go. They could technically, in theory, negate with the Thunder King by tributing it off to negate the inherent special of Formula, and from here, they are going to get a copy of Junk Synchron, which unfortunately isn't great here, so just passing it back over to Avenger, who gets a copy of Yaksha, so very good draw there. They're going to normal the Yaksha, go battle phase, and just swing in with both, just doing as much damage as possible, and obviously backed up with all those traps, they are in a good position, especially given neither one of them can search because of the Thunder King. After that, passing it over to Nova Knight, who gets a copy of Junk Synchron, and it's definitely not looking good. They are going to normal the Junk Synchron, they say it's good, then they are bringing back the Quibbled, synchroing for a Junk Warrior. From here, that's going to get met with Bottomless, back over to Avenger, who now gets a DD Crow, and it looks like they're just going to go battle phase. This is going to be a lot less grindy of a game, it seems, so just going and passing it over to Nova Knight, getting a BLS, which is going to be live, but at the same time, the Thunder King can actually stop that, as well as the Compulse can bounce back, and oh no, they would have enough lights and darks to summon it again if need be. So I guess the Thunder King probably should be used in this exact scenario, but it looks like obviously they're going to try to bait that first by going Junk Synchron and using the effect, but the DD Crow is going to come down. So now they're going to be forced to kind of use the BLS here. And from here, they're going to take a second to think, and they are going to Thunder King that. So negating the summon of that, with the Thunder King back over to Avenger, who now gets a copy of Torrential. They're just going to go battle phase and swing in with the Yaksha, setting the Torrential back over to Nova Knight, who now gets a Level Eater. They're just going to have to set one back over to Avenger, who gets a copy of Onslaught, going battle phase. Kind of grindy game in this situation. Here, Nova Knight gets a copy of Soul Charge, so that's very good, but I could see the Torrential just coming down if they decide to play that through, but Nova Knight does see the writing on the wall and is going to scoop it up there. So moving on to a game number 3, Nova Knight will get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Effect Veiler, Synchron Explorer, MST, Quick Draw Synchron, and Tuning. So a pretty solid hand here. And on the other side, we see Yaksha, Maxi, and DD Crow is crazy against the Quasar deck, MST, and Bear. Here, Nova Knight will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Allure. Okay, so being able to dig a bit deeper if need be, going Tuning first, adding a copy of Junk Synchron, and milling a Soul Charge, activating the Allure, getting a Dandy and Level Eater. Those are literally like the 2 best draws they could have been, and it'll be interesting to see, though, if they're going to play through this Max C, though. Banishing the Junk Synchron, going Quick Draw, and discarding the level eater. That is an inherent summon, I believe. So obviously the Max C couldn't have been activated there, but it is going to be activated now. And it looks like, yeah, the Nova Knight's going to play it slow, just setting the Dandy. And it's actually really good they didn't discard the Dandy for that, because the Dandy is mandatory. So at that point, Avenger would get that. So that was actually a good way to kind of play around the Max C. And also at that point, Avenger did neg one card there. Anyways, here, they drew a copy of Moral Attack, as I mentioned. Here they are just going to summon a copy of Bear and run over the copy of Quick Draw. After that, setting 2 cards, and it is good that they save that MST, because obviously MST with the Moral Attack is going to be good. Nova Knight here drew into a copy of Soul Charge, which is crazy. Here the MST is going to activate, hitting the other MST. MST will be chained to pop the Moral Attack, so that does actually be interruption here. And then summoning the copy of Synchron Explore, targeting the Junk or Quick Draw Synchron, which they say is good, so they're not going to crow it here. And then after that, Level Eater is going to activate, but the Crow is going to, interrupt that. After that, flipping the Dandy, synchroing for an 8, going for Destroyer, using the Destroyer, using the Dandy, and being able to pop the Bear there. And after that, they are going to go for Soul Charge for just 1 here, getting the Quick Draw back after all, synchroing for an 8 there, going for Road Warrior. Road Warrior effect, really cool. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower warrior or machine monster from your deck. Usually this is going to get you Unknown Synchron, which it is, which is a tuner, so they can go for a copy of Formula Synchron, use Formula, draw into a Level Eater, and then here pass it over to Avenger, who gets a copy of Wolfbark. That's a very good draw here, because it means they can make a rank 4, but obviously at the same time, they have to bait the Formula first, because this can just quick synchro on their turn, so they are going to go to battle phase, attack into the Formula, and are they using the effect, or they're just letting it go through? They are just letting it go through. Very interesting. In my build, I play Leo, so that in a situation like this where you have the 8s plus the Formula, you can just go into that, and that's really hard to out a lot of times. But here they're going to normal summon the Wolfbark, and we'll see the Veiler maybe, which we are going to see here. And then after that, a little bit of misclicking there, and it looks, a lot of misclicking here. Nova Knight draws into a Quick Draw Synchron, which is crazy given they have Level Eater in hand. They're going to use that effect, summoning the Quick Draw, and then it looks like Level Eater is going to activate on the Road Warrior, and then they're going to use Road Warrior effect, because it is a once per turn, going for a copy of Quillbolt, and from there they are going to Synchro Summon into Turbo Warrior. Interesting that they are on this. This says when this card declares an attack on a level 6 or higher Synchro monster, have the attack of the target until the end of the damage step. This card cannot be targeted by the effects of level 6 or lower monsters. Okay, pretty cool card there. And from here, they are going to Level Eat again. I think just walling up. Yep, going into battle phase. And, do everything the cards decrease the Level Eater. When I crowed it, still was 1 level less. Let me just check. Okay, so they are checking because of, Level Eater and the ruling with that, if it still decreases the level or not. But anyways, it looks like they're just allowing everything through. That was a little while ago. I don't entirely remember what the board state was, but I guess that is something important. Anyways, let's just move on. I don't think that's really going to matter in this exact situation. Here, it looks like Avenger drew into, was that the Yaksha or the Gorilla? They are going to summon the Gorilla here and use the effect after running over the Hedgehog to go and get the Tenki into Bear. And then from there, passing it over, Level Eater is drawn, Road Warrior is going to activate yet again, and it looks like Nova Knight is going to take that one. Very impressive showing. Obviously, there was a bit of miscommunication in terms of a couple different rulings they needed, but really cool match overall, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it, comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays, whether you won or lost. If you thought the deck you or your opponent was playing was pretty cool, feel free to send that in. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see it. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.